Hello everybody, James Rink here. It is January 18th, 2014, and I have Jay Essex and Barry Newkirk with me. And we're going to talk today a little bit about super soldiers, the Montauk Project, and the Nazis and how they're connected to all this. And I just wanted to start delving into that a little bit here. Apparently, Jay, you have the ability to look. Well, actually, both of you have some gifts: astral travel, remote viewing. And Jay, you think that I might have been a Nazi in a past life, but it's really kind of confusing because I'm not sure. Does that mean I was maybe sent back in time through Montauk, or because you said it was like what 200 years?
Well, I saw something about 200 years ago.
Yeah, that's it. We're looking at multiple things here, and I believe the one I was seeing is something more recent with this Nazi party that's doing stuff with the it was one of your clones, because when I look at the energy, it's different. Mm-hmm. But Barry, my friend Barry Newkirk here, Barry and I do a lot of stuff together. We see things. He and I have done a lot of work on the other side, dealing with it, fighting with it, many lives. And his energy, his soul, is very, very strong. When I started doing stuff with him long time ago, first wave of souls came out, I noticed he had the ability to really go in and track. And then when we were both out of body, I went in him, changed the hell out of him. And he's ridiculous. Nothing on this planet is going to give you the kind of reading that he can, to see what he can and what's going on. We do all kinds of stuff together, fight and always have. But he's also seen something about, what was it, the czars and stuff?
It was like one of your clones in sort of Nazism, and it was helped overthrow the czars.
Getting a exact time is hard, but it's like near World War One, before that or something. Right. Before that, taking over. I don't know, but it has to do with your DNA and everything. That one's hard to actually.
So maybe they in this modern day, they made a clone of me, sent it back in time to this Bolshevik era, and incited some kind of revolution.
I don't know, but it's got whatever it is. It's got your DNA in it.
Was there a time?
Let me give you clarity.
Thanks. This time thing is weird to me. There was some sort of a fight with Rasputin.
What, the Nazis didn't like Rasputin?
No, it was because he was trying to sort of carve out his own little empire or something.
I think that was just James, but it looks like clone because it's relative to the DNA.
What you
that
think
he's
I was
got
Rasputin?
Right now, but it's a different body. But it's your. I'm sorry, jerk. It was. That's an affirmative. It was you in a body, but your body then had similar DNA that you're in right now.
So I look like me.
It's somewhat similar, yeah.
So you think there might was I? You said I was Rasputin.
No, heck no.
You were sort of fighting with him because he was trying.
You were there to deal with him. Yep.
Yeah, he was trying to do his own thing, carve out his own little empire.
Rasputin was 27% negative soul, and he had a whole lot more energy than and abilities than he ever should have been allowed to have. That was one of the mistakes of the original mother.
One of the many.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, you. You also helped try to actually off him. One of the 7 to 9 attempts was you, because he got shot and poisoned and all these other things before he actually died.
So that was my clone responsible for.
No, that was you. That was you in another body.
Yeah.
But in a different body. But the DNA in that body there's a lot of the DNA in your body that actually goes back to that.
But you said, so that was me in a past life?
Yeah, that's you in a past life.
So I wasn't in a clone body.
No, that was not a clone body, but it kind of looked like a clone body because the DNA is similar.
It's so similar.
But why?
But the clone is the clone body thing is recent. It has to do with the Nazi Party.
So
it's DNA that's been taken from you this life.
Do you have any information about that clone? What it's used for? I can. You know what?
Literally, it's fighting the bad guys. Is all I can tell you.
So the Nazis have a clone of me that's used for good?
Actually, I get more like a plant.
Plant.
I don't know. You're doing something on your. You're doing something on your own. I guess everyone's a plant when you're cloned anyway.
Yeah. It's hard to see.
Yeah, you're there doing. Let me open that up. You're there doing stuff. Sorry.
No, it's good. Keep it coming.
He's doing his job. The people he's working for, and it has to do with our friends
in space.
Yeah, in space.
Yeah. It's like I want to say administrative type work. Setting things up.
Yeah, he's near the top of what he's doing.
It's putting things in place. It's like a chessboard.
Yeah.
And your clone is positioning things.
And he's covert.
Yeah. Well,
but
not anymore since we're outing him, apparently.
He's gone from that anyway. He's removed.
Yeah.
What, my clone?
Yeah, like something about, I guess, April of last year, maybe, something like that. I don't know. I can't.
Well, when my clones die, does that affect me at all? Do I wake up in the night and say,
no.
Okay.
It wasn't last year. It was like 2 years ago.
Yeah, it was a while.
2010, 2011, April.
And I can't see dates for diddly.
When I start getting my memories back, do you think I'm gonna get the memories back of these clones, or is that it? It's just
no, because it's not in your life path. Or stream.
It's not you.
It's
there's a piece of your energy there, but remember that's body energy.
Yeah, it's not.
It's not your or soul essence or for you source energy.
Yeah.
So it's that's why we don't have the memories of it.
All right. So let's try to say. Okay, so not seen a past life. I was trying to find the story. I did somebody. I'll just go ahead and tell you what I remember. But I was like in this facility, and it looked like a cylinder. It was an underground base, and it looked like it was a cylinder with spikes going out from it. But I was in the command center, and there was all these people by computer panels, and I walked in. Somebody gave me a piece of paper. I saluted and walked out, and when I went back later and remote viewed it, because it was just like a flash of memory. Sometimes when my memories come to me, just like a flash, there it is, and it's gone. So I came back and reanalyzed that, and apparently the people on the computer were all wearing these black uniforms with the Stormtrooper logo on their collar, and I was too. And but the guy that ran the facility, he was a real. I don't want. I want to say. I want to use the word nightmare, but he was basically. He had pictures.
I was going to use jerk.
I was going to use son of a bitch.
Yeah.
he had pictures of us in our civilian life, and he's really he feels like he has all this power over us.
Yeah.
And
he thinks he does. He's only 17% negative soul, but he's a real jerk.
Yeah.
Makes you just want to pop his face, Yeah.
And so then when I come back and try to remote view this facility again, apparently it doesn't exist. So I think it was destroyed. So I don't know if that's true or not, but
that's some sort of FEMA camp.
It's something like that. That's just exactly what it is.
Yeah.
And also what you were doing is that was you as energy, James, that was going there, but you just checked out the body. It's your DNA.
Oh, so that was me. That was probably my clone.
That was your memory of going to see the clone to see what part of your DNA is doing.
Yeah.
That's weird. But then again, everything that's happening, with what the government's doing, the things that run the governments, what they're doing, it's weird to the conscious mind until you just look at it, and then it's like, oh, something else. Yeah. Nice.
All right. So we were talking a little bit earlier about the Iraqi war deaths. The numbers that I was getting is that the Iraqi civilian deaths were actually in the millions, like 1.3 million. And Jay, you seem to think that it wasn't really us per se killing these people.
No, it wasn't.
It was their own.
Yeah, Saddam
folks.
Hussein was involved in using chemicals and all kinds of stuff, killing a bunch of his people. When you do that, it's like, oh, the news people are going to get it, and the American people are going to say, you must stop beating him up because you're killing all those people, when it's really him doing the massive work. Things happen in war. War's not good. The wars here need to stop. They will stop. The major wars will be brought to a halt. But, casualties do happen when you have such a, tragedy. But they were being induced by Saddam Hussein just to get the American public to say, oh, look what's happening. We have to stop that. And it wasn't us doing it.
All right.
We had problems. That just wasn't one of them.
Yeah, and I was getting the numbers. They were cloning some of these soldiers. I guess you were getting that. What really wasn't as many as we thought.
Nothing near it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
maybe 39 people total. That came back that were not what left
themselves, so to speak.
And some of the people, I'm getting like maybe 12 of the people, 14. Were taken back and when they were taken, they're alive and everything. It's like clone more spare parts or something. What do you get?
13.
Yeah.
All right.
And something. Yeah, it's not cloned. It's like literally ripped apart to.
Yeah, for spare parts.
Well, maybe that was connected to what's going on with the heather material, that facility, the HG6 facility, where they supposedly taking these dead soldiers and reanimating them. Did you know about? Did you see that video yet, Barry?
No, I can't say I have.
That's where they're supposedly they were experimenting on these soldiers. They would take dead bodies and reanimate them.
All right, you cannot reanimate a dead body. I don't care what anyone says. There's no way. Once the energies go back, when a person or animal dies, I see the two parts of what they call a kundalini. The part that's the left side of the brain, the conscious mind. I watch it go back to the planet, and I watch it be there with the energy of the planet and go back into it. And then the soul actually comes out, or its spirit, whatever, comes out and goes to the other side. I can talk to both of them as they're going. What they can do is try and they can build clones and everything else, but when the body's dead, there's no way that they can actually make the planet put the energy back in it, because it won't happen. It's not allowed. Yeah. And the planet has to give it up, and Gaia's not going to do that. She's been abused enough by these jerks.
All right, so let's go ahead and talk a little bit more about Barry. And something that you think you might have had a past life as Tesla?
Yeah.
Actually, where's that book?
It's, in the bag by there. It's the big thick one. Not there.
Cool.
All right, so
we'll
just let the audience decide whether or not you look like him.
There you go. It's fun. It's funny though, because we have past lives and we don't look the same. But because this life is so important for everybody, Earth 2012 has been a legend for a long time. I know it's past 2012, so what's a couple of years. Anyway, it was important for Barry to have a body with DNA that's very similar, because there's a big DNA similarity between Tesla. Did I get it right this time?
Tesla.
Yeah, Tesla and Barry. Barry Newkirk was Tesla.
Well, were you always aware that you might have been Tesla, or is it?
It's sort of come to me really in the last year. I kept getting. I needed to look at his life and look at his life and look at his life, and so I started reading a little piece here and there, and then memories kept flashing in of meeting Edison for the first time, working on the ship that I did to get in his employ, and then little pieces here and there of some of the things I built. I unfortunately don't have electrical engineering type training in this life.
So those abilities haven't carried over.
Unfortunately not. But on occasion I will see a piece of one of the machines I've built and I'm like, great, now what does that do? But there are some things that I do remember from that life.
But also, though, too, a lot of the information you were given, the strongest stuff you were given literally came from our family in space, and they weren't really supposed to even give it to you, so they only gave you partial. Yeah. That's what happened with the Montauk Project.
Yeah.
It was just, when you're given very high-tech information and you're not given all of it you need to create something, that can cause havoc.
Yep.
Which it finally did. But
well, we were talking a little bit earlier about the story of Otto Skorzeny, Hitler's bodyguard, and I've actually pulled something here up from my book, Lone Wolf, and it says here, this is a short summary. I'm going to just read this real quick and just tell you what your impressions are. Okay. According to Otto Skorzeny, Hitler's bodyguard, George Bush Sr. is actually a German Nazi spy. His biological father, George Sheriff Sr., is a member of the Nazi Party who later changed his name. Oh, so now they're saying he's changed his name to Prescott Bush. Okay, so Prescott Bush was George Herbert Walker Bush's father. He was, I believe, he was a senator in Connecticut, and of course, George during the time of Tesla, when he was still alive, Bush Sr. would have been a teenager, or really just a kid. And according to, going on here, and as a teenager, Bush Sr. worked as a Nazi spy within Nikola Tesla's lab. He would go into all of his experiments, giving him the nickname of Curious George, which later became a cartoon series. And then it said, Bush Sr. ordered the execution of Tesla and carried out his prize research of anti-gravity, teleportation, scalar weapons, free energy, mind control into the hands of Nazis. And then it goes on to Project Paperclip. So, as far as, I guess, are you able to elaborate on any of that? Because I know this was all new for you.
Yeah, it all rings true when I look at it. There was some. The word that came through was whippersnapper. But it doesn't surprise me, the murdering thing. There was something towards the end of my life there. I had what most people would deem OCD tendencies, where I would eat dinner with 17 napkins, and after wiping my mouth with one, I'd just drop it on the floor. And that was due to paranoia that people in power were trying to get rid of me, off me, because I had this knowledge that, by their accounts, I shouldn't have, and I was trying to do stuff that would disrupt the status quo.
Well, I mean, the Russians took Tesla's technology and ran with it, with their scalar weapons and all that, so they were actually more advanced than here in the United States.
Yes.
But of course, they suppressed your work here. However, the Nazi wing of the Project Paperclip didn't, and that was grounds of basically what later became Milabs and this whole secret, covert ops and all that. But Jay, you mentioned something about nanobots.
Yeah, he had nanobots put in him, and he knew it, and when he wiped his mouth, he thought there might be some in it, and that's why he put the napkin down. This thing about the George Bush thing, ordering the kill, he didn't, but he was giving information back and forth so that he was setting everything up. He was aware of it, he was a part of it, but he didn't actually give the order to get it done. But yes, he was definitely a part of it. Yeah. The vast majority of everything you were just saying, James, rings true, except for some of the teleportation and stuff. Technology never went over there. The reason why is remember the what I call the annunakis. They're just Anunnaki. They're really cool people, but the ones here on the planet are jerks. That's why I call them annunakis. They came here 11 million years ago, people, in spaceships. And then I heard something on TV. The ones that are here, they're probably a little more advanced than us. I'm like, oh, really? There's so much disinformation put out. It's disgusting. I hear it all the time. It was last night on History Channel. You want good history? Go inside your head. Go inside, meditate, find it for yourself, because you won't find it in your books. We're all trying to piece that together for everyone now. It's a lot of good people doing it. But you had the nanobots in there. The old it's like the first generation nanobots that the government was able to get involved in producing, and it was to slowly start making you senile and just start losing it. The last thing they wanted was your intelligence and your ideas and your information to go out anywhere. They couldn't find anything written down because you had most everything in your head. That really pissed them off.
Yep.
Poor little Georgie Bush. Sorry. Excuse me, I get real sick of it. Everything that happens, FEMA camps being used to actually grow clones to eat for food and take people, and we're a delicacy for some reptilian races. It's disgusting, and the government allows it. There's your government taking care of you. No matter what side you're on, the right side, left side, conservative, liberal, whatever, it doesn't matter. If you see the pendulum swing from one side to the other, you go to the top and see who's doing like this. It's an annunakis. Okay, they kind of run things, and they have all kinds. There's a lot of them are cool, but the majority of them, the ones that are controlling are definitely problematic. There were 7 clans. There's 5 clans now.
After World War II, this would have been around the time of Tesla's death. Do you know what year did he die?
I think it was 1943.
Okay.
Something like that.
The Nazis were brought back in this country through Project Paperclip. So Wild Bill Donovan, Alan Dulles, and George Bush. I don't know which one it would have been, Prescott or not. But they brought back all these. They were in Switzerland bringing back all these Nazis. And they literally brought these Nazis back to help, and they set up the CIA. And the CIA was of course, they infiltrated the Republican Party, but that was the Nazi wing here in this country. And the CIA was initially set up to contain the alien issue, but they later quickly broke off the NSA for that. So that's it's kind of funny. They say they're all about doing the encryption, decryption and all that, but it's really decrypting what the aliens are saying in outer space. SETI and all that stuff. But I know we're digressing here. But you mentioned a little bit something about Wild Bill Donovan and what you were getting from this guy. That he was mostly negative or something?
Oh, yeah, he's like 57% negative at least.
He's 57% negative and he's acting 67. That's why you got something floating right above it. He puts out 67, but his actual core is 57. He's an issue. He's a jerk.
Well, and then probably Mangala was brought back, and they continued on their experiments in these underground dumps. And there was a regression that I did recently where someone went to South America in this regression, and they saw this meeting between these 2 different parties of Milabs. One looked like an American general, and he seemed to be in control of this of the meeting, and his faction seemed to be more in control of what's really going on, or at least Milabs or whatever role is on this planet. And this other faction were all wearing black suits, and they had the Nazi SS logo. And basically, there was some kind of battle going on. The Mantoids were destroying the Nazi facilities. Well, really, both of them. Apparently, the Nazis had a deal or some kind of truce or agreement with these Mantoids. And you saw that they were, what?
They were like a pawn for that race, that they just created this to run its course, but because they have no emotional connection. It's great, now that you've done what you need to, we're just going to
eat you.
It's
basically
eating your young. Yeah. And so it's not particularly malicious, because it's just the way that they function. But as a result, like, the Nazis thought they were in control, or wanted to be.
Well, there's an interesting story. I know an individual. I'm not going to give out a name, but he claims that he has memories of being underneath the president's desk during the presidency of Kennedy, and he claims that Kennedy might have been, of course, JFK was his father, and they switched him out with another kid, and he grew up in secret in a different family. I don't know if you're getting anything about that, Jay.
Yeah.
If you think is any truth to that.
I got a yes. I was trying to focus on it, but I'm doing something else too.
I know, because I know we're switching around here, and I'm going to go back to the mantoids. He claims that in the future we're part of some kind of Jupiter station, or we're stationed at Jupiter. I forgot the name he referred it to, but he said that I was sent on a mission to another alternative parallel universe where Earth was I guess a lot of planet Earth was a frozen ice world, and but it was one of these negative timelines where things sort of just, civilization sort of just fell apart, and the mantoids were destroying. We were at war. The mantoids actually invaded planet Earth. And what triggered all this is I had this flashback of a memory of me. I had a gun, and I was wading through about 6 inches of water, and it was a pitch black room. So imagine kind of like wading through a cave or something. I didn't know if it was a cave or not, but it seemed like a room of some sort. But he says that I was sent in that timeline to recover photographs of him in his childhood because they had destroyed it in this timeline to cover up what happened. And so that's what he thinks might have happened, but I don't know if you want to. That's a pretty wild story.
I'm being pulled in 20 different directions.
Yeah, honestly, when you're talking about that, I'm literally seeing you in a room. It's like almost like a holographic room where you're being tested, used, or something. It's got something to do with this life. It's actually got something to do in your head. Something going on in your head. I can't get a focus on it. I was trying to go circumvent that and go back to something else you were talking about.
You mean with the kid?
I got to get this off in my head before I forget.
What's that?
This other clone that was doing the Nazi thing. It's okay for me to say this. He's literally involved helping free some of the Anunnaki on this planet that are really cool.
So I have another clone. This isn't my Nazi past life.
This is the one that we were talking about. The recent Nazi, not Hitler. No, I'm sorry, I shouldn't have said Hitler. The Nazi.
Was it the same faction that was in South America? That group that was at that meeting?
No. Yeah, this is like here.
So it's
I get Florida.
What you're almost suggesting is that there are multiple factions, even within the Nazi Milab group. There's some factions of Nazi Milabs that are not as negative.
Whatever you're going to say, yes. I'm sorry.
It cut you off. Yes.
Sorry about that.
No, I mean, there are warring factions within any group.
So it's safe to say the stereotypical ideology of a Nazi is not necessarily something like they're just a bunch of Jew murderers. Or
Yes.
And by the way,
sorry about that.
That is
I can't wait sometimes.
I know this might upset some people if talking about this, but allegedly the Holocaust didn't happen like they say it did, and apparently the Jews, according to the Russians that came in after the war, they found the Jews were all well fed. They had tennis courts, swimming pools. Okay, you didn't say that.
Well, and there were a couple of camps where that was what they showed them. Like
they were.
Theresienstadt, for example, was one where here our children are having a wonderful time and they're putting on this play, and now everyone leaves and we kill them all.
Okay,
so
and they were used, but not by the Jews. The Jews were just
destroyed.
I'm trying not to say the words.
Decimated. They were.
I wish I could just go do something about it. That protection gig I got, I'd like to go down there and melt everyone down there. That was
The point I'm trying to get here is that I don't know if you've heard of Eisenhower's death camps.
Hadn't heard about them now.
Well, allegedly after the war, Eisenhower had a vendetta against the Nazis, and he rounded up the Nazi whatever's left of the military, which is about 1 million troops. And most of these are just boys, you know. They're doing what they're supposed to do, you know.
Eisenhower was told, we want this to go through, by his handlers, and he said, hell yes.
Yeah.
Okay, so he rounded up these Nazis, and they had they had some of these death camps. I'm not sure if they were concentration camps that were liberated or not, but they would basically, it was, I think it was the end of the war. Was that like in April, May? I'm not sure, but it was in Germany. It's still really cold, and if you're exposed to the elements, you're going to drop dead. And these people weren't given any food, no shelter, no water, no nothing, and they were just crammed in these facilities. And within 2 weeks, they were all dropping dead like flies. And the Red Cross wasn't allowed into Germany at that time. No one really knew because the media was controlled. There's no internet, you know, people.
Yeah.
And a lot of the people, the German population might have knew what was going on, but they were so devastated by the war, of the horrors of, well, the Holocaust. The term Holocaust wasn't around back then. That was generated in the 1950s. But they were so devastated with just the whole thing of war, they just didn't want to, you know, face what's going on. So apparently, we were the American forces were responsible for about 1 million dead soldiers, which didn't need to happen.
I'm getting that number's way too big, but maybe a little over 1,000 or something. What do you get?
I get.
You have to look at how many. Yeah. When this question comes up, you have to look at how many different places there are, how many there are total. So.
Okay.
I'm seeing over 1,000 total.
Yeah.
But it's nothing like 1 million though.
No.
All right.
But that's a lot of people.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I guess eventually time travel technologies will come more be made to the public, and we can go into hologram theaters and see what really happened.
134,000. Is that possible? 13 points.
I get 13,400.
Yeah,
more accurate because I kept getting around 10,000.
Yeah. It's like 13,400 soldiers.
Well, there's
died.
this book called Other Losses by I think it was his last name is Bosk, and he's actually a Jew, and he investigated
he's a cool
the
guy,
official Red Cross statistics. There's a lot of inconsistencies.
I don't blame him.
But anyway.
Sorry.
So I know we are really jumping around here. Let's go back. Okay, so we were talking about my clone, but so I guess there's a group of Nazis that are not necessarily, maybe they're a little bit more love-like.
It's like Nazi Party related.
Okay.
So
so they
maybe
believe
you need to give them a new name.
So when you say they're related, what does that mean? Their beliefs, they believe in creating the ultimate Superman race. Is kind of, they're still in that.
Yeah, they still have some of the same stupid ideas, but what do you get out of that?
Well, it's
You got something on that?
Yeah, it's not like a Superman race, but it's like a race that functions effectively and well. So it's not.
And controlling.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, but it's
not like super, but
yeah. Brave New World is sort of the impression I get, where everyone has a place and a function, and everybody's generally happy with it. So it's not particularly negative, but it streamlined.
All right.
And that really relates with that place where we went.
The
you and Ben and I.
Yeah.
You think that's a Nazi facility down there?
No, but there's this Nazi group you're talking about. They're falling apart. They broke up.
Splintered.
They're falling apart.
And another regression I did, I got the name Therian.
That sounds positive. I mean, that sounds to have a place, but out of place. Like outside
It's
involvement
yeah.
But there seemed to be some kind of reptilians involved with the Therians.
The name Therian is just frustrating because it's like it means something else. It means a few things to a few different people. So when I go to look at it, it's like whose head am I picking the information out of?
The logo of their insignia looked like a triangle with the circles around each one of the points of the triangle. I think there was actually there's it's a triangle inside of a circle. I'm sorry, if you can imagine what that looks like. And the triangle is pointed up, the top part, the apex. Okay, so And you said this clone was being used for positive things. Do you have any idea what was it doing? Was it?
He's fighting like hell to help take care of stuff here.
Yeah, to free those who could help us.
So I guess he died in the line of duty. Probably. Or
I'm seeing him going.
Going? Just what? He self-destructed?
No.
I get like on a ship or something.
Yeah, he's still living.
Got beamed out.
Well, I did a regression with a Michael Prince, and at least before he kind of before he fell away. Fell apart.
Yeah,
right. Which, by the way, do you have any? You said you thought he might have been infected with those nanobots again.
He is, because I'm looking at his head right now. He's like this. He's just his thought process.
Two more infections.
Yeah.
He claims that there are these space weapon platforms around this planet. There's 11 of them, and he said that there's certain individuals that can operate them. And he says he's one of them. And his platform, he called it the Cassiopeia. And he said that I had a platform called the Valiant something, is what he claims in this regression. And he said that he saw us all dressed up in our Nazi uniform, black boots, and
I can see it. The Nazi uniform is black and it's got a pink tutu. No, this is stuff that's put in his head.
Yeah.
And
so we can't really trust
I shouldn't
anything.
be making fun, because I feel sorry for the guy. His brain is scattered, man. He's got bugs all over his head.
Okay, so I guess maybe the ETs can help him out.
I get it's too far.
I think he needs to go home.
Yeah, it's too far. They can try to help out, but the damage has already been done.
Yeah,
and you'd have to reverse time.
You have to go back, but the heck with that. Let him get out of his body and
return home.
Yeah, just go home to the other side.
All right. Okay.
He's a very peaceful person. That's his basic nature, and he would never fit in to what they were trying to make him fit into.
No.
So they just, it's like you cook. It's like cooking something. You burn it a little bit, and you say, "Oh, the hell with it," and then you crank it up, and you just burn it to a crisp. I mean, that's stupid, but whatever. They want to burn their tracks.
Right, sort of like what happened with Tesla.
Yes.
They gave him those early generation nanobots, and that's why he was so paranoid.
Yeah. And it happened slowly.
Yep.
Like Ronald Reagan. Guess what? Same thing.
Yeah. Yep.
All right.
Well,
I did a regression a while ago. Actually, it wasn't really a while ago. It was kind of recent, within maybe the past week or two. And I've been getting basically, at least you believe that I was involved in Montauk. I feel that I was involved with Montauk, but I don't recall it. And so I wanted to remote view this, so I did this remote viewing session. And so what we basically saw was that I was about maybe 6 years old, and I was taken to this facility. I was let in, where they prepped us in this one room. I don't know what they were doing, they're prepping us, but there was this other kid next to me, another boy, and we got that his name was Brent Reynolds. I don't know. That might have been his.
Brett.
I'm not good with names.
Yeah,
that's probably his ego speaking.
I just get Brett, Brett.
Brett. Okay. Well,
I don't know.
But
Sure.
so they were prepping us, and then we were brought into this other room where the Montauk chairs were, and they were adult-sized chairs, but they were retrofitted for children.
It's like a car seat.
And then we were all, and of course we were all drugged up. He claimed that we were drugged up in some kind of scopolamine, like derivative, something, so we wouldn't remember any of this. But we were also given some kind of drug to induce, I think it was like a deep delta state, where while in the Montauk chair, we were actually like in a sleep-like state. We were, I don't want to use the word sleep, because it's sleep-like, because we were doing work. Mm-hmm. And they would have these screens that they would see everything that we were seeing in our minds. Mm-hmm. And they were literally, at least what we're getting is that for me particularly, they were using me to remote view the Soviet Union files and spying on them, as well as alien related stuff like bases on the moon and Mars.
more on the alien stuff than the Soviet Union.
Are you able to remote view? Can you see it? Can you see this and add anything to that?
I'm looking.
Yeah, he just Barry doesn't remote view. He just goes back in time and dimensional and just looks.
So something about the preparation. There's like a chamber where you got sprayed down.
A chamber? What do you mean?
It was like there's like a doorway. It's sort of like a decontamination type chamber, but it's
like a part of a room.
Yeah,
it's like going in a room.
It's
cut off
a portico.
Room.
I think is the way you would describe it. There's this little like entryway that you have to go through, and there you were sprayed with something, and part of it is nanobots, and part of it is chemicals to induce this state within you.
What state is that?
It's almost like coma state. So you can go in this deep place. Your body can leave to where it needs to go, but then they can pull you out when they need to. And like the nanobots would then go to the sections that needed to help view what it is you were seeing. And then,
so that's what the prep was about?
Yeah.
They jack me up on nanobots?
It's nanobots plus the chemical inducement.
Yeah. Do you happen to know the name of that inducement?
No.
Yeah, that'd be difficult probably to pull up.
No names.
I got some names of some drugs, but I'm sorry, go on.
So then you got in the seat. Go back. You were saying something. It was Soviet Union and ships.
Aliens, maybe moon bases or Mars or.
Not moon bases. It was stuff on ships. And it's something about a meeting. It's like you were viewing plans.
I was going to say it was the meeting of the minds.
Yeah, it's like
reviewing
a boardroom
operations.
type thing. Yeah, of like prepping for what is to come.
It's kind of like a war room kind
of.
Yeah,
that's the impression. It's.
But it was not actual. Put this piece there, that there. It's putting it together. It's the brain work.
Yeah,
because you have your body, your DNA is very high intelligence level. So you were very important.
Yeah. I think you looked at Russia once to help somebody with clarification, but by and large, you were just focused on the ships. The Brett kid looked more at Russia.
That in Poland.
Yeah,
I don't know what that was about.
And the Ukraine.
Why would they have one boy focus on one area? Is that just...
It's split up the task work.
Yeah,
you know.
It makes it easier because if you're focused on this thing and you're focused on that thing, we can look at more stuff faster and then as needed.
And deeply, yeah.
You would think that if I was remote viewing all these alien files, you think would the aliens be able to trace it back to me? They know what's going on? Say that poor kid.
They know your DNA. Yeah. They follow your DNA stuff all over the place. Just like the annunakis here on this planet, they have satellites right now out in space that can read a body's energy. They can read the power level and some of the major frequencies of your soul, and use that to find past lives. So there's records of it that they have. They all put together. These supercomputers, folks, they ain't to find parking tickets, okay? And the things that run this planet, they've had their own a long time.
Yeah.
There's all kinds of stuff going on that no one knows about, like the FEMA camps, people in there being grown and then also taken and eaten for food. And the government says, it's okay, but can you get us this new special screwdriver with a light on it? I mean, that's about how pathetic the governments are. The things that run the governments. Change is coming.
Okay. Well, so I guess that was basically it with this particular viewing session. But I guess we kind of extrapolated from that. Perhaps me going through that programming at that certain age sort of led way to other programs that came on later on the line. Because theoretically, if you can remote view your consciousness and see things on a screen. What if you could remote view your consciousness into another body and control it? And that's kind of, I don't know if you're getting...
Not allowed. No, won't happen. Never happen. It's against certain laws.
Well, I mean, not. I mean, what if it was a clone body of yourself?
No, a clone body, you cannot control it because it's not your body to control.
Yeah.
It's like when something negative goes inside. When something that's 27% negative or more, especially when it's asleep, the negative vibration can actually let something negative go inside. People call that an exorcism, whatever they want, whatever. What's in the name? It's just a matter of description. Then it's only allowed to be there a certain amount of time, and it gets ripped out and taken away. There's energy that don't allow that, and I'm very much informed on that. That's part of what I do. Yeah, it's not allowed, but so it never will be allowed because even as smart as the Annunakis, and they're very old. The Anunnaki are a very old race, and they're very honorable for the most part. Okay, let's remember what's here is just a problem. That's why I call them Annunakis, blah, blah, blah. However, some of these guys, they think they're God, they think they're immortal, they can do whatever they want. No, they can't. Out of body, metaphysically, spirit is sentient energy. It's the source family that actually runs certain things. And then we all go in a body so we can learn and develop. But, this stuff's going on over here. It just shouldn't be happening. All the abuse, so many people. And James, you're a very popular person. Your DNA's all over the place.
You mean they use me by who? The
yeah,
aliens?
And with the Montauk Project, it's almost like I'm seeing them there somehow as a kid.
Mm-hmm.
And then I'm seeing a clone there. So I guess something that was grown, I'm seeing you in a uniform. And I look at it, it's your DNA, but it's not you. It's different energy.
What, that boy that was on that remote viewing, that wasn't me?
There's a little boy that's there, but somehow, maybe metaphysically, and then actually in the Montauk Project, I'm seeing someone there that's you. No, it's not you, James, but the body has your DNA in it.
Was I ever
your clones thing is really confusing.
Yeah, this clone thing, and it's like literally you were sent in there through time. You were there for something, and then you came back, and it was done by our friends in space.
Maybe I was sent from the future.
That's what I'm saying.
Yep.
Yeah, and you were sent back, and you're kind of moving around doing stuff, and then boom! Before it happens, you were taken literally like beamed off the ship.
Yeah.
So was I sent in as a spy to infiltrate that?
Some information or something?
Gathering information.
Yeah.
I don't get it was in spy capacity.
It was like learning. This spy, like in the sense, it was learning information, what happened and why.
Yeah.
So
like
maybe
historical.
Exactly. Like what actually happened, what went wrong, and how can we learn from this mistake in history? You were literally sent back there to get your clone was sent back there in time to see and witness, and then come out. You were not there to perform spying functions, just as like sensor to gather information, and then you came back.
Yeah.
You weren't even aware of it.
Yeah.
You thought you were there and you had your own implant as far as mind, the thought process implant, not that you're here for this, blah 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 blah. So you're like a sensor that was sent back.
So what about this image of me when I was like 6 and so forth? Was that me as well?
I think that's you astral projecting going back there because it's going back in time looking at it. What do you got on that, Barry? My head's pounding.
Yeah, mine is too, and I'm having a hard time because.
Do you think it might have been the scopolamine like drugs they might have given us, and could that affect?
No.
Maybe they have some kind of energetic barrier.
Yes, was that affecting? No.
It could have an energetic barrier around this facility prevent you.
I'm being shut down. Barry's being shut down. It's my energy doing it, and it's not time for this information to come out because it's got something to do with something going on that's going to not be good for someone else. If you please hold on to this question, James. You have it on video. I'll answer it later.
Yeah.
But this is not to going out anywhere. My mind, I have the question and everything. I've got no recollection of it. It's going to hurt what's going to be doing the positive process of what's going on right now. Something's relative to things behind the scenes.
Yep. Because I'm blanking on what the question was.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sort of.
Well, I'd like to go on to more topics, but I want to talk about Philadelphia experiment because apparently Tesla was involved with that. Do you have any memories of the Philadelphia experiment?
Not immediately, because I get it was by and large painful for me. It sort of was against some of my belief systems, so therefore I've blocked a fair amount of that part of my life from myself, sort of almost PTSD type thing. I did have something to do with it. They used some of my technology for it in ways that I didn't agree with.
Because it was just hiding the ship.
Can you explain a little bit what happened with the Philadelphia experiment? Do you remember the story?
Not.
He's pretty much had that wiped, especially for this life. He was given information. I think I might have mentioned earlier. We were just talking by our friends in space, and they were going out of the way to give him information they shouldn't have. So they didn't give him the full amount, but enough to him to work with. And then when he turned around and he built this thing, he was trying to just hide the ship, camouflage it, like send it somewhere else and bring it back. So it could be there or not be there. But he was using technology that was downloaded into his brain, but he didn't get the whole thing. So then when he did the project and all of a sudden it went bad and then there's a problem and then the ship reappeared and literally arms, legs, bodies, heads were sticking out of the steel bulkhead and everything of the ship. And when he saw that really freaked him out. So that's a memory he doesn't really need to be dealing with a whole lot in this life. He was doing everything he could for everybody to help, and then it went awry because he didn't have the full amount of information he needed. So it's just one of those things that happened that was really frustrating. Tesla's life was really frustrating, but what used to be Mother Source Energy, whatever, she did it like that because Barry's always been working with me when it's time to clean up a planet like this one.
Yeah, because I know a lot of people allege that Einstein's equations were that helped sponsor the time travel experiments, but actually his equations are all wrong, and Einstein really, he had nothing on Tesla, because it was actually Tesla who invented the time travel equations. And according to people that have been to the future and come back in time, they claim that at Temporal Recon, allegedly, where this facility where they're sending people back in time, there's a statue of Tesla honoring him for inventing time travel. But
well, and some of that's accurate and some of it's not. It was also, I think I wrote it down or was shown the pieces that I could put it together. It wasn't all mine. Some of it was given to me.
But it's okay. We all kind of, a lot of scientists.
I'll take the credit.
And there wasn't the equipment, the ability to substantiate any of it or to practice it, and you sure couldn't do it openly.
Yeah.
So you couldn't even get the substances you need. Yep. I'm taking my brain right out to do what we need to do, to do what he needed to do.
All right. And I guess as far as maybe we could talk a little bit about Wardenclyffe.
Yeah.
I heard that there's a rumor that somebody's trying to recreate it, and they say that it wasn't really the tower per se that created the energy. It's actually the unit in the ground, underneath the ground.
It's sort of... it was trying to recreate what happened in Atlantis with a whole bunch of crystals and somehow tapping into the Earth's energy.
Radiant energy.
Yeah. So, the unit, it sort of was basically an antenna. Again, if you could recreate it, great, but by and large, it's sort of obsolete now with the new technologies that are coming out. But at the time, you make do with what you have. But yeah, so no, it's somehow tapping into I'm getting something about plates shifting. Sure.
Maybe the vibrations of the tectonic plates.
The resonance, something about the resonance.
Well, what about like the Schumann resonance of all the sum of all lightning bolt strikes on the planet at all times actually cause the planet to resonate?
Yeah.
Is it that energy? Or
Something about that's wrong. It's not quite that. It's similar. By and large, I ever got to figure it out. It was still an experiment, but they tore it down before I had the chance.
Well,
you weren't allowed to accomplish a whole lot.
Yeah, no.
Do you remember what wasn't it J.P. Morgan that?
Yeah, I mean, he was part of it, and then Westinghouse was my friend, and he was about to go bankrupt, and I signed over all my patents. I'll never do that again.
You should have at least kept a few of them.
I should have.
Why didn't you just?
Well, it was friendship and loyalty, and
you were supposed to get something out of it, and instead
that it would help him and it would help me in the long run.
Well,
but then he got.
Did Westinghouse? I mean, Westinghouse obviously that company is still around.
Yeah.
So what?
Yeah.
So did he help you out at all after he got all the patents?
A little, but by and large, most of my funds dried up.
Why wouldn't he continue funding your genius?
Because the powers that be didn't want him to. What I was trying to do was give everybody free energy, and if you do that, he makes money on energy. So instantly, he would be
counterproductive.
Yeah, our ideas of where it was going was counterproductive. So he wanted money. If I'm going to give everyone what we do away for free, then he has no money. For me, it was always figuring out the next problem. One of the reasons I didn't write anything down was, I solved that problem, next one. I solved that one, next one. And so it was just a process and thought experiment, basically. And so it was just give me the money so I can keep working. I didn't care so much about the money. So when he said, I'm about to go bankrupt, sure, I'll sign over the stuff to him because I figured someone would fund me somewhere.
And funding is a proper word because he was going to help you to produce more, and he was happy about that. But like you say, the powers that be, he was told not to let that come out, and if he did, he and his family, blah blah blah, disappear.
Yeah.
Were you friends with J.P. Morgan, or was he just the
he was a jerk.
He was an asshole. Excuse my language. I do that a lot.
And also what it is.
And it's sort of the Edison. It's the bully thing. It's about me.
I've got the cloud. I'm taking the power.
Yeah, exactly. And it's not. Whereas me, it was about helping other people, and them, it was mostly about themselves.
Yeah, but J.P. Morgan, he liked hurting people.
Oh, that too. Yeah. Well, he was what?
He was nasty.
He was also about 57.
Yeah, he's 57, 67.
So how come you didn't go up to Edison and say, "Hey, Edison, let's work together"?
Because he screwed me over already. Like when I signed up, I was like, "Here, I can fix this," and he said, "Sure, if you can do that, I'll give you $50,000," and I did it in no time flat. And he was like, "Oh, you don't understand American." So he'd already screwed me, which is why I separated and was like, "No, I need to go do my own thing."
Well, what about this thing about the dogs? He killing the
with the whole DC current, direct current versus alternating current. Yeah. I came up with alternating current, which was better, and you could use it for longer distances. But his whole thing was build huge substations every block, and he had the market on that. So I put his whole business in jeopardy. So he went on this whole marketing spree of collecting a whole bunch of animals, from like stealing animals off the street to electrocute them with alternating current to say, look, people, this is dangerous. You shouldn't use this.
How come
a smear campaign?
How come the police didn't say, hey, no, you can't, that's animal cruelty, we're going to take you
out? There wasn't any back then. It's just like China now, They kill animals, eat them. Not that it doesn't happen here, but it's like dogs and everything else. They do the same thing over there.
Well, is there any truth to? I'm not sure which World's Fair it was. I think it was 1899 or 1898. Mm-hmm. But there was a World's Fair where it was powered with, of course, with electric lights. But all the electric lights were wireless and free energy.
Yeah.
Is there any truth to that?
Yes. And I don't know how it worked, but
Because you don't ever hear anything about that in the school textbooks. You know, we all think we
Yeah,
have to have wires to run our light bulbs.
Well, I mean, even if you watched what was it, the movie, was it The Prestige? The Prestige with Christian Bale and Hugh Jackman.
What's that about? Prestige?
It's two competing magicians, and they go to Tesla, played by David Bowie, which I love. But they have this thing where he holds a light bulb, and he is the current, and the light bulb lights up. I don't know how it worked, but it was like a thing, and there's actually pictures of Tesla, myself, whatever, holding this bulb, and it's not connected to anything, and it's lighting up his face. So it was possible back then. I don't know how it works, unfortunately, and it threatens a lot of companies, or it did back in the day.
If you were put under hypnotic regression, you think that would help? Or is that...
No, he's like me. He's 24/7 powered up all the time.
It's one of these things that if I took a few years to study electric currents and electrical engineering,
it wouldn't take anything like that. But see, you're not here for that. You got more important things to do.
Yeah.
Well, there's free energy coming. Okay, these fixes are already here. There's a cure for every sickness that's been created, and the very few that actually happened out of happenstance. The things that run this planet are leaving, whether they like it or not. I just want to say this real quick, even though this is a little bit off topic, but it's not. This is about super soldier talk. There is a group of beings that have source energy in them. There's also Barry and some others that are just incredibly powerful. We have our own brand of super soldier, okay? And we can do the government. They go ripping in your brains and put everything in there, trying to make everyone telepathic. Guess what? That's what I do. It's my job. And everyone's waking up. We have incredible power here. These people are just going to get stronger and stronger. The government knows about us. They can track us on the satellites. They're welcome to. They follow me around all the time. They follow Barry around. NSA started to kick in, by the way. CIA, they just started coming into the plate. I'm waiting for a gentleman with a round head. We need to talk. Hurry up and just say hi, because I'm waiting on you, okay? I don't have time. You guys are...
What about that guy, Jay, on my blog?
Oh, yeah.
What's his ID?
Another one of my lives was Pythagoras, the Pythagorean theorem. I think I understand, numerology. There's one of the emails. There's a government email. As a matter of fact, the last guy, the third guy...
Someone commented on my blog, and his user ID, you claim there's some kind of interesting...
Yeah, his user ID is 7744JJOPX. I am ex-military, just a grunt, simple old dude. 77 is very strong spiritual. 44 is very strong fortitude. OPX is military operations. Literally, it's a...
what does that stand
it's
for?
A code. It's a code. What it is spiritual fortitude. J operations. And actually, you read it from the right to the left. That's how we do it in most planets. That's why people have problems with dyslexia. What it is the spirit's the strongest part of the brain. And when you read something from the left to the right, you get just almost to the left, just almost to the end of it, and boom, you want to kick to the left a little bit, because you get to the end, you say, wait a minute, you want to go back the other way. But anyway, what it stands for is
Operation J.
Operation J, yeah.
They refer to you as Jaybird.
Yeah. Oh, no, I've been called Jaybird a lot. I guess I like that. You know, I'm a New York redneck. There's not many of me. You know what? I'm going to get called all kinds of stuff. I already do, and I'm going to be called more. I don't care. You know, I'm here to do a job, and nothing's going to stop me.
They call me Babyface, but you know.
And let them say what they want. They're a bunch of boobs. Okay, guys. You guys watching this? Hi. FBI. Get your heads out of your butt, okay? You're supposed to do some good here. The soldiers, the military soldiers, not the homeless insecurity dudes, okay? They're a problem. The guys at the bottom, they don't know what's going on. They don't know the truth of it. NSA and homeless insecurity, they're the two problems you have here. They actually are part of the annunakis that are running this planet. The FBI is going to get involved with it as soon as they get their heads out of the butt. The soldiers and the police are going to be the things that actually start saving you, along with my group of freaks that we have that are out here doing all kinds of stuff. Yes, I use freaks. Go ahead and take the word and try and develop something with it. Just say, oh, there are freaks and blah, 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 and just come up with a couple cool whips. You want me to give you a few?
They can call us alphas. Isn't that TV show?
No, you can call us whatever they want, because I got something for you. Yeah, it's missing, okay? But you can see it, right? Y'all just need to get over it. This is going to happen. I dare you to come at me now. Bring it, okay? Ain't going to happen. I'm as worried about you as I am a tornado just coming up at it, whatever. I mean, I don't even want to go there. Y'all just are real bothersome, just like little ants, It's okay. I don't even need a magnifying glass. The things, your handlers, the things that run this planet, that's what I deal with. They're leaving.
Do you think these homeless insecurity guys, NSA, do you think they're going to be listening to this video?
Oh, they watch me. They watch Barry. They're all, Michelle, the rest of us, they watch you. You're welcome to it. Maybe you learn something. It's like when the FBI and Homeland Security guy that came to my house about a year ago, January 30th. You guys were great, and I love you. Good hearts. You know what? They're people. These are people that are here having lives. They think they're doing the right thing. They don't understand what's behind what's going on. But it's going to come out. It's going to break out. The things that run this planet, the actual reptilians, there's a little under 38,500 of them. They want to get off the planet. They can't get off. There's a negotiator. We've met 4 times. As soon as I can telekinetically throw stuff around, like something strong, that's when the negotiations start. They want to get off the planet. There's all kinds of good stuff that's going to happen. Arkansas is where the strongest group of the actual reptilian Anunnaki are on this planet. California's got a bunch. The Anunnaki in Arkansas, they have 7 different very strong reptilians that actually astral project, and they go do. They can go into people and bug some people, do some stuff. They always have at least 5 of them at one time working. California, the group over there has got 10. They're like number 2 on the list. Arizona, they're really close as far as power, what they do. The group in Florida is actually cool. There's over 22,000 of the 38,500 almost that are here are actually very cool beings. They need to be released. They came to me like 3 years ago. They know who I am. There's a legend about Dracu, the original dragon, the original male and female reptilian race. Dracu's back. It's going to be party time real soon.
Well, we were talking with my friend last night how there's allegedly this cubed spaceship in space where they have been taking souls, and they could contain souls on the spaceship, and the being that ran the ship was Lucifer, and they're basically a bunch of Dracos. Is there any truth to that?
This is so full of bunk. The whole thing is just a bunch of crap. I don't know where do you start. You go like this, you flush it, okay? This thing about Lucifer and the Bible, the Torah, the Quran, they were all written by the Anunnaki here. Okay, period. That's all there is to it. There's 5 Adams, 5 Eves. The one in your books, hi, how you doing? That's me. That's something for you to make some fun of. Please do it. The more you say about it, the better you look when all of a sudden you go, oh. And I start throwing stuff around, going into people's heads, modify them. Like I said, the NSA, they're the top dogs over here as far as the initial handlers. They're well aware of what I am. Doesn't matter. This group that's out there, it's total disinformation. They go into people's minds. They're putting little, minuscule, teeny little robots in people to control them, trying to make the perfect slaves. People, you're a food group. Wake up.
Well, I heard rumors that McDonald's and a lot of these large Illuminati food companies put nanobots in their food.
No, they don't.
They probably don't need to.
They don't because they want to go through the serums. The inoculations.
So that would mean
have to get your flu shot. You have to. We're trying to save your life. Yeah, that's why medications are through the roof. Doctor bills are through the roof. Insurance companies are through the roof. Realty is through the roof. All these things feed the annunakis that are here. It's going to stop people.
Well, what do you think about all this radiation coming out from Fukushima is going to cause all our health to Sure.
It's already hurt us a lot, but it's not going to destroy us or anything. And there are steps being taken by our friends, our family in space to help us out. Yeah, it's like people say there was 2,000 reports of UFOs when that happened. Well, guess what? Yeah, there should have been because they were there. Okay, that's your family people. That's the real people. I'm sorry, I have such a download. I got nowhere to start and stop with it, but. Change is coming. It's going to happen, and there are new super soldiers coming out. But they're going to do things in their head, like Barry can. James does it through gut intuition, solar plexus. I'm Papa Daddy freak. Guys, make something out of that. Okay, have some fun with it. I love it. I love it. You know, imitation is the sincerest form of flattery. Anytime you give me a hard time, it just helps people understand what's going on. So please keep ranking on me. I appreciate it because you're really helping me out. Not that I need it. It's just nice. And it's nice to know you care, okay? Because I'm there for you too. Mm-hmm. Believe it or not, half of you give me a hard time. I'm here to help you. But that's all right. Leading the blind isn't always easy. At the same time, these individuals are going to crank up, and when I leave at the end of 2018, they're going to get powered up like nothing. This does not stop. It just keeps going, but it will be clean. When I leave, and by the end of 2018, this plan is going to be clean. Things will be better before that. And it's not about me, it's about y'all. It's just my job.
All right. Well, thank you, Jay. Well, let's go back to Barry here. I wanted to ask you something about Marconi. Because apparently he stole your tech. What?
Yeah. He was another scientist at the time, and
what did he invent? Well, allegedly
I'm trying to remember.
Was it radio?
He invented new ways to steal your technology is what he did.
Yeah.
Was it the radio?
I think it was the radio, and at the time he was given the patent for it when he actually infringed upon, I think it was 17 of my patents.
How come? Well, why would the patent office do that? Was that intentional, just a mistake, or?
I think it was intentional, by and large, because he was working with Edison and that whole group of people.
And they must have new friends in the patent office.
Exactly.
That could do things.
And so therefore it was, again, using my technology for their benefit while giving me nothing. And also at the time they were in another smear campaign to discredit my life and my work. To make me out to be this crazy person, and with the nanobots that they were putting in me, and et cetera, et cetera, et cetera, I started losing a little grasp on reality. So it was a combination of things. It was basically a multi-front attack. So that therefore I had less of a foothold. I look like a wingnut, and then everyone just buys the sort of party line that.
Yeah. Well, that's a bummer. Well, I guess things haven't really changed much.
Not so much. No, but soon.
The more they change, the more they stay the same.
Yep, soon.
Well, it's the same thing with the NeoCube. I was told not to get a patent on it because if I did, they would have quickly escorted away. Of course, now it's all in the public sector, so it can't be patented anyway. But
it helps people realize that they have energy, because it's like a condenser for people to condense their own energy. It's an incredible tool, and that's why they don't want everyone out there to know that they have power. Because if you want to control the cattle, you don't let them grow horns, whatever.
Yeah, so I guess if we're going to get these technologies out, we can't go through the patent office.
You'd probably use WikiLeaks or I'd use WikiLeaks and publicly just release it.
Well, I was told that when someone looked in the future how these technologies can be released, basically someone's going to set up a website where anybody could go in there and just publish schematics for anything, and just it's there for the public, for anyone to go in there and. Well,
that's sort of what WikiLeaks is trying to do to an extent. There's something a little wrong with it, and partly it's like Assange, just something about the way he's looking at things.
Maybe he's not releasing enough. Do you think he has access as people send him schematics of these technologies?
Not yet, and I think partly it's wanting to either they've been threatened by and large,
What,
the
Julian
families have.
Assange? and WikiLeaks?
No. People that have the technologies, and
Maybe they should just put it on BitTorrent. Say hell with it.
that would be good. Except the problem is, how do you let people know that this is now on BitTorrent? You know, that it's not just I have the technology or here are the plans, but also the mouthpiece, the way to market it, so that everyone knows it's out there. That's the difficulty, because you can put it on BitTorrent, but if no one knows what it is they're downloading, then nothing's going to happen. And if you don't get it out to a massive number of people all at the same time, it's going to be squashed.
Yeah. Well, there's we were talking a little bit earlier about Pierce Arrow, car company, and was this like the first time you've heard of this?
I want to say yes, but it isn't, because I think I'd come across it before. It was sort of a free energy type vehicle that I was trying to create. But again, the powers that be didn't want it out, and they were labeling me a kook at that point. So everything, I got really frustrated at the time. And I took it out. I destroyed it. I think I stored it away until the time was right.
So that's still, you think that's still somewhere?
I think it's at the bottom of Wardenclyffe.
I was going to say it's somewhere, but it's not to be found.
Which is interesting, because they actually did find a whole bunch of his technology apparently down there, but I don't know if they've gotten to it or if someone else has gotten it and swiped it. But yeah, I stored it somewhere. And sort of, I didn't destroy it like I did the earthquake machine that I made, or I tried destroying the death ray, but apparently they found the plans or something.
Well, here, this is on pezwiki.com, which is like a free energy resource kind of a wiki page for free energy, and it says, in the summer of 1931, Nikola Tesla, along with his nephew, installed a box on the front seat of a brand new Pierce Arrow touring car at the company factory in Buffalo, New York. The box is said to be 24 inches long, 12 inches wide, and 6 inches high. Out protruded a 1.8 meter long antenna with 2 1/4-inch metal rods. Inside the box was reputed to be a dozen vacuum tubes and other electrical parts. And their wire leads, and then goes to an AC motor that replaced a gasoline engine. As the story goes, Tesla inserted the 2 metal rods and announced confidently, "We now have power," and then proceeded to drive the car for a week, often at speeds of up to 90 miles per hour. And again, this is 1931, which would have been extremely high performance. One account says the motor developed 1,800 RPMs and got fairly hot when operating, requiring a cooling fan. The converter box is said to have generated enough electrical energy to also power the lights in a home. The car is said to have ended up on a farm 20 miles outside of Buffalo, not far from Niagara Falls. It goes on, it says here, the legend is that Nikola took J.P. Morgan for a spin in the 1931 car, and J.P. Morgan noticed that the car was not making any sound from the engine. When he realized the vehicle required no fuel, but was getting its energy somehow invisibly and freely, he chilled on the idea, inasmuch as he would put a stop to the need for petrol to run vehicles. After that, allegedly, was when Tesla ended up with a posh accommodations in the New York hotel, and nothing ever came of the car or concept. Yeah. So, the story is also alleged that the patents for this vehicle is now owned by Barbara Bush, or probably one of her trusts or foundations. So, obviously they're not too in a rush to get it out.
No, not at all.
You know, when you see a mannequin in a store, that's Barbara Bush.
Well, the story is, I don't know if you've heard of this, but allegedly Barbara Bush and Aleister Crowley had an affair, and one of their love childs was JFK and also George Bush Jr.
That's funny, but no.
Yeah,
it makes me smile. It's a great story.
It's a neat comedy, but and in a way, sarcastically, it fits, but it's not true.
Yeah.
Okay, so all right. Well, I guess it's good to bring that up.
Just watching her and Aleister Crowley together would be hysterical.
All right.
Thanks. I needed that. I need to get out of my search
dark
and destroy
place.
issues. Yeah,
Yeah.
I need to calm down.
Okay, well, is there anything else you want to talk about? Is your life as Tesla, perhaps? Well,
Not that I can think of. Edison was an asshole. Let's quit praising him for his, well, if you try it. I didn't figure out how to make the light bulb one time, or figured out what not to do 100. He stole all of his damn technology, and he used people.
And what's your profession now, if you don't mind saying?
I have been working as an actor, but this now I'm moving more towards readings, because that's where Jay's energy by and large is pushing me.
That's the energy out of my body. It's just,
yeah. So now I'm doing readings for people for a bit of money, half-hour readings.
Yeah.
Also, there's one thing I do want to say, if you don't mind, that Montauk Project and that group up in New York coming up soon. Barry can see inside people's brains and see nanites and stuff just the same way I can. I won't be able to make it there. I have some problems with sickness in the family. However, as he runs into things over there, he can call me up and I can burn the stuff out while he's out there helping the folks. And plus, some of the folks in there, they need to understand what's going on, so Barry can help them with that. Because just knowing what's going on is usually 2/3 of the cure to getting over it. We all wonder how this happened, like all these people that have been so abused by our governments. The things that care about us so much.
Pretend.
Yeah. It started like that, but that didn't last too long.
No.
Well, let's talk a little bit about this, allegedly, this trip chair. Well, it's been called different things. Total recall, memory boot up system, trip seat. Then they have different versions of it, like a total recall chair, and some of you for remote viewing, teleportation. But here's something. I had somebody remote view allegedly when I was put in one of these devices, and this person. I just asked her. The way I knew this individual is that she saw my picture on Facebook and she asked me, "Are you military? Are you military?" I said, "No, I'm not military. What the hell are you talking about?" She insisted I was military, and she remote viewed because she had these remote viewing abilities, and she said that she saw me. Basically, she saw a filing cabinet with a folder. So she's remote viewing this. Mm-hmm. She looks in my file, and it looks like manila folders, and I guess maybe inside those manila folders was a picture of me standing in front of a brick building, and she can't really ID it too much because I think she said I looked like I was wearing civilian clothing, wearing jeans. So I don't know what that's about. I don't know if anyone wants to comment on it.
I'm looking at it. I'm getting it's more your clone.
It was a brick business building.
And no, it's funny. The first thing I got was like a rundown school or an abandoned schoolhouse.
Yeah,
because I guess it's some sort of training type facility or educational indoctrination type place.
And see, the reason why that's hard to see is because when he goes looking for you, he looks at your DNA, he looks at your energy and everything else, and when you have to separate all that as you're seeing it and see bits and pieces at a time. It's like looking at a mathematical equation. You have to take it and in process. But that's exactly it. It was one of your clones.
Yeah. But it's some sort of like educational facility. It's not an actual school, but
they were brainwashing it.
You're talking about this? We're talking about the seed again.
Well, actually, I was getting ready. The next memory was the seat where we're going to talk about.
Because you're talking about the school and everything. I'm getting what do we call it? You mean Ben?
The trip. Do you think there's a trip seat in this?
The quote unquote school. There's definitely a bunch of them.
Yeah, it's
3rd and 4th level downstairs is where they have all that stuff going on.
Yeah, it's not. I mean, it's like indoctrination, brainwashing type facility.
Yeah.
Do you think this could be a holographic construct?
The second level going down, The first level going down, that's just crazy stuff like storage and stuff. The second level going down, they're feeding serums, fluids into people, chemicals for the brains, nanites and stuff like that.
Yeah.
What else you get on that?
Also, changing DNA, some sort of genetic modification.
Alteration.
It's like one of the serums I'm looking at. It looks green to me in color.
That's exactly what I was saying. This damn
is it
green
really
crap.
thick and viscosity?
Yeah, it's
big time.
It reminds me of Slimer from Ghostbusters.
Yeah, and see
like
how James, you see how you picked that off too?
Yeah,
that's your gut feeling. That's your solar plexus, your power plant.
But
metaphysical power
what
plant.
It does is it like it coats something and then warps it over time. It's some sort of
it goes. Yeah, it's exactly. Mutagen is a good word for it. Changes it.
Is it called compound C?
Oh, you can call it la loose.
I mean, that made my heart go.
Is it legit?
Yeah, I'm not.
Well, I was told that there's a substance they're giving my clones called compound C. It's made from luminescent mushrooms that grow in inner Earth.
Okay. No, that's no.
Yeah.
They're giving you something. You can call it what you want. It doesn't have mushrooms in it.
The name is irrelevant. It's just what it does that's important.
Okay, this would be a really cool sci-fi novel. We could go get together and share these ideas.
They're sort of already doing it with the TV show Helix. You
want to talk about a nice sci-fi project? Look what's real.
Yeah.
Look what's going on. All the friends we have in space. How they beam in and out. That's the neatest thing in the world.
I have a feeling that there are people in Hollywood watch some of my videos because I see some things in Hollywood. I don't know if it's just the synchronicities or something. I don't know, but some things. Well, anyway, but. Let's go.
By the way, you want to see someone who's really nasty looking? Go look at Stephen King.
God.
This guy's got so much reptilian in him. Let's just say he's over 67% reptilian, and he's like 67% negative, 67.
It's funny.
Yeah,
that was my debut.
Yeah. He's just kind of like he's got some issues.
Have you ever seen the picture? I think it's Rupert Murdoch.
Yeah,
he's the owner of Fox, the Fox stations. And there's a picture of him on the internet where it shows like 3 fingers and he's got like a claw.
Well,
he's
you sure he's got a claw not doing live long and prosper?
It's like that. That's what it. I don't know. It could just be him, just a weird fluke with the low resolution images. I don't know.
Honestly, I see reptilian in him. I don't see Anunnaki. It's a different type of reptilian, but I also see this other stuff in him. He's kind of a mixture. He is tied in with the things that run his planet, but he's like a pawn.
Yeah.
The Queen Elizabeth, she's Anunnaki. She's part of him here. She's also stuck. She's 17% negativity. She's a light soul.
Yeah.
She can't do crap. She's walking around with arms and legs duct tape all the time. The new king, the happy marriage. Oh, for Pete's sake, you think your marriage is that big a deal? Come on. For Pete's sake, why not show how cool you are by doing something for someone else? Okay, help someone.
It's a societal thing.
It's not their doing. That is the power control thing of the Anunnaki race. They're reptilian. They're very aggressive, but they also have to be on show, and lots of times they don't like that. I feel for her, but for Queen and for those folk, lots of times they would want to be somewhat left alone. But
they also do a lot of human cloning on these political leaders, and so what you might see in public.
Not so much because they don't want that.
Because they're not.
They want to use something and get it done with. They want like a super soldier where they use different parts. But something that's got the more aggressive leader. That kind of thing, they just kind of want to stay with that, away from it, because it'd be a chance of something climbing back up the ladder and getting to what's at the top.
Like
they don't want that.
The Manitoid things of let's kill our children type deal.
Before they get big enough to eat us.
You're a pawn. Great, I've used you. Now I'm going to throw you away and get rid of you so that you don't come at me.
And you know what else? You've seen it in a lot of movies. That's not where it comes from. However, the human race, this Earth and human race is very unique, and we have certain we have a certain ability to the bodies that are formed here to aggressively pursue progression through an evolutionary process, we learn. We're very adaptable, even though our bodies might not be as strong as some of the others. That's one reason we drew a lot of attention to ourselves.
Yeah.
Yeah, we better get running. Yeah.
But let me go ahead and finish this up here because it's just one more pair. Well, looks like it's okay. Well, it's really short here. It says on the nether page, I see you lying in a large glass-looking green pyramid. There's a gurney-like cot underneath it, and you are lying on top of that. The pyramid comes down over your upper torso and rests on top of your head. Green electrodes are attached to your skull, and somehow they are able to interface you with a computer terminal. A technician can then type in code words, uploading any memories or editing certain time lengths they want into your brain, such as combat abilities, weapon usages, etc. At that point, they send you out for combat, but they seem to be using you mostly for reconnaissance and intelligence gathering operations.
Some of that seems wrong.
Something's off, but I'm seeing that triangular thing coming down, and I'm seeing the green light.
Yeah.
And I'm seeing other stuff going in, but something.
And there's something off about it.
There's something off about it, and honestly,
it's probably with his clone body in that school, maybe.
I don't know. Something about the last part of what you were saying.
Yeah.
I started zoning out.
Okay.
I'm looking for the CIA guy. Sorry, but
electrodes. Read the last bit.
Yeah. Okay. A technician type in code words. Oh, before that, green electrodes are attached to your skull, and somehow they are able to interface you with a computer terminal.
Mm-hmm. Continue.
Oh, and then they can upload memories, edit certain time lengths. Like she said that they could delete memories. Like if you went on a mission, they would delete them or insert new memories in. Or take.
That's not quite there, but they can definitely affect it. But that's why they have these these little nanobots, the new ones. Yeah. They go in there and they actually do stuff like that. Mm-hmm. I got to go back in another guy's head too.
What, Alex Diaz?
No. When the lights went off. The plug was just.
That was Alex.
Oh, Alex. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, names. I see energy. That's why I'm lucky. My name's Jay.
Well,
one letter.
Do you want to just briefly explain a little bit what you? Maybe I should. Let me start off with who Alex is, and because I know we got a few more minutes, but Alex. Of course, you get to go back and listen to the interview I did of Alex Diaz. He claims that he was under regression, that he worked with the military as a super soldier, but they were like sending him on missions. Like one mission, he contacted these reptilians, and he says that I was there with him, and we were trying to negotiate a peace treaty. We're not a treaty, like a truce, because there was some kind of battle or skirmish, really, that took place. And you were getting, Jay, that perhaps that a lot of these memories of him seeing the super soldiers was actually like a virtual training, virtual reality.
It was like drug and electronically, whatever induced into his head. Plus, don't forget, they can actually astral project, and when the brain's that submissive, they can actually, go in and do work with you on the metaphysical level too, to a small degree. You put it all together, and you have someone who's got a pretty good idea something happened. But that's what they're doing. That's like the total recall chair. That's what it's about. It's like implanting thoughts. They put that big spike in your brain, and they put the green fluid in there.
Almost like in the Matrix.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, the Matrix was based on a lot of stuff like that. It was. Well, it was actually based on a book recently. The lady who wrote the book got actually paid from the company because they basically stole her book without giving her credit. Surprise.
Yeah, really.
It was the third eye or the third kind. I don't remember the name of it.
All right.
Something.
Yeah, I'm familiar with that story. Here's something that somebody, I guess it's more like somebody channeled about Alex. So this isn't a regression, this is someone else. And he says, Alex Diaz, you're called Bloodstreak because you're kind of clumsy and like to use blunt force weapons that you leave behind enemies' blood, which left a trail of blood leading right to you. You have multi-tone programming, which is a good thing. It's an upgrade. The single tone only runs one frequency at a time, multiple tone can run an infinite amount, cutting lag time, so you can react more quickly without much rest. It also means you have more stamina, and you usually do solo missions. He's part of a team, but I can't figure out which one.
Well. Yeah.
We bumped past before. He needs to do is accept what's happening to him and look to himself for answers. He needs to know that not all people are out to get him, that he should calm his mind, and I think he overreacts a lot. You're also you're very strong. You like to rip trees out of the ground and use them as a bat, but these abilities are in his avatars, not his own physical body.
Yeah, because this is all in his head,
Yeah.
the stuff he's being put through. But then, when also part of what he's talking about was this gentleman was talking about his physical. This other guy, he's cool too. I like him. Hell, I love everybody with hell. But the thing is that he was talking about Alex, right? Yeah, about his life right now, about how he's over aggressive about stuff. But some of that's just done to him.
Mm-hmm.
You said that he was traumatized horribly.
Yeah. When you go in that chair, that's abuse, man. And he was like a subject matter. Just time after...
trying to figure out what to do and what...
Yeah, what works, what doesn't work. It's just, it's a
he was the guinea
a
pig.
pin cushion. Let's just keep, sticking it.
Yeah.
Well, here's something. He says he's in some kind of facility. He thought it was in Arizona, and he thought it was called Alpha 69 Section 8. He sees trip chairs nearby. They're experimenting on people. There are open boxes, but he doesn't know what's inside them. Now he's sitting in the trip chair. He's getting poked in the spine and shocked with electricity, and he claims that General Patterson Wesley Kingsfield is nearby, staring at Alex. He's 5'4" and carries some kind of wooden plastic piece on his leg due to some old war injury, which causes him to walk with a limp. He's chubby in the waist. He spots his handler, Andrew Luntz, and they claim they do virtual reality sex training.
Patterson. That's what I was getting out of the place you, Ben, and I went. Remember?
Is that the general, you think?
Yeah, the guy that saw that was he was in the green military uniform. He was like a colonel.
Well, do you think so? It's probably General Patterson, but maybe Wesley Kingsfield may not be accurate. I don't.
Well, I mean, am I wrong? Because I stink with names, but I'm just getting that thing. That's the same guy.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
See, he's got a memory implants, but he's also mixing that with what he actually saw physically while he was in a chair. What he saw while he was in a chair, I'm seeing him literally seeing with his physical eyes, and the memory's going right into his head, right around here and then down into here.
Right. Well, he says that. So
it was Patterson.
There was a reptilian nearby, and I asked him. He said most of the reptilians in this facility were carnivorous, but he found one that wasn't necessarily so negative. I'm going to say positive, but his name was Shenga. And he says, this reptilian says, "We are watching over you. You might not know me, but I remember you." The reptilian says that they're going to show themselves and they're going to take over the government. They're going to stop all conspiracy cover-ups in the games the government have been playing. Mm-hmm. And he says the negative reptilians are going to come out and kill a lot of people. Mm-hmm. They said they're going to come out and eat people and have bad auras. But if you have white light, they're not going to... I don't know if any of this is...
This guy here... I'm sorry, go ahead.
Go.
This other guy that he was talking to him, he's one of the 22,000 that are good here.
Yeah.
Sorry, you got
no, and I was sort of saying the same thing.
Yeah.
But it's not so much... my impression is with the whole not eating people that are light, it's because they're protected by Jay here. That his family is going to put a stop to that.
It's not going to be allowed to happen to that, like
They
that.
said,
but it does happen. They do eat human flesh. That's one way they literally can change a body. Like a regular anole or chameleon, they can actually change the color by being near something. Well, but when they absorb the human DNA.
Yeah. So,
talk to what's her name, Miss Obama, about that.
Michelle
Obama. Hi, honey. I see you.
You think she's watching this too?
Oh, hey, look, they all get it. They all get it. You're popular, man. We're here. We're here.
All right.
We're here for a job. They know it.
All right.
Yep.
Well, they deserve love and light too. All right.
Oh,
Let's
yeah.
go on here. So it says that these reptilians don't want to. I mean, sorry, the other star nations don't interfere while this. He says 62% of humanity is going to be killed. But he says that star nations don't want to interfere because they don't want to expose themselves. So this might be like a negative timeline. I don't think we're going to see this. But
Yeah, honestly, what he's talking about is when things really start getting bad here, which is I'm talking about the Earth evolving.
Okay.
And it was supposed to be 2266, and after original Mud and Dud got taken care of, it's like 2300, 2400,
Yeah, it keeps being
2500.
pushed back.
It's pushed way back. But the Earth has to evolve, and it has to destroy all. She has to literally burn off all the radioactive waste we're putting
It says next paragraph. It says that the UV rays are going to destroy the electrical grid, and at the same time, the government power is using their HARP weapons for depopulation. They want to bring destruction, tornadoes, and earthquakes to make people's minds go crazy. The internet will be shut down. And he says that we super soldiers need to find a central location where we can meet, work together, and use our instincts to survive.
Okay, it's intention only. He does have. That is the intention. That's part of the intention of what the things are that run this planet. But you know what? They want off.
Yeah.
They want off. They have equipment that can literally get snapshots into the future. It's like a TV, like a big scanner. And if you go 2 weeks ahead, you can get some decent information. Okay? Now, if you go 2 months ahead, it's going to get a little scattered.
Yeah.
2 years, forget it.
Okay. Well, let me quickly finish up here because we're running out of time. And it says here, so this reptilian then says something to me. He says, well, according to Alex, he starts saying this language. He says, "Pawa ki tish kasha koshtosim pulali kawa bursira sis como tekto." And according to Alex, this translates to, James Rink, you are a great one. Thank you for everything you are doing. Without you, we wouldn't think of humans as we do.
What I was getting from the whole thing was just, it's like to have hope.
I got keep going.
Yeah, just.
All right, so I guess we'll just keep doing that. And there's so much more here. I mean, he talks about, now he's talking about his avatars and all this stuff. He says he's Alex Diaz, SS Alpha 61, Delta Force creation. Purpose is to kill super soldiers and interfere what is going around the globe. With James Rink and other friends, we can be set free. He says the Darkened Brotherhood is going to experiment on us. They want to expose the population to chemicals and drinking water. Families will be broken up. He says then he goes into his dog tag number 54631, and apparently mine is 54363. I don't know if these numbers ring a bell. I was told that the first number 5 stands for Gen 5 Super Soldier, and 4363, that's your unit number, and so on. But anyway, so then we talked about Agent Sabretooth, but I don't know if we really have time to go. I mean, the Sabretooth thing where you said I had a Sabretooth tiger as a pet.
Yeah, that was a life you had, like Lemuria, that kind of thing.
Telepathic and somehow they called me Sabretooth.
When they put him in a chair, they actually give him some real information, and then they blend it with the crap, and then there's also metaphysical work being done on him. Even though it can't do a whole lot, you put it all together, you get a problem. You get someone who's severely misled, especially while they're on drugs and they have nanites running around the head. I mean, or he had stick bots. He had 3 stick bots.
Well, he says here, back to the thing about him being tortured. Here's something here, another memory. Just going to go to it real quick here. He says he's being interrogated by Air Force Malaysian. No, he thinks he's Air Force Malaysian Corey Bloom Hackleford, and the general is interrogating him, and he's not. He says no comment to the general. And Alex is then strapped into what looks like an electric death chair. It's bolted to the floor. They stick a needle in his spine, which pumps an IV drug, and he thinks it's possibly called Exodyne. And the drug keeps you conscious while you feel pain. And he says there's a drilling noise, terrible pain, hands clenched, embracing himself. His memories are erased, and he's being tortured. He says...
Well,
Huh?
yeah, well, I mean, it's sort of like that people that wake up in the middle of surgery and they're just totally in paralysis and they can't move and they can't speak, but they're feeling everything. And so it's a drug that does something like that.
And the drug's got a tie-in with Dow Chemicals, which is incredibly reptilian. Yeah, there's more in that. It's just, like, leave it alone.
Yeah.
Okay, so here's another one. He says he's in a room. It's very bright. There's there are amazing technologies. He sees chairs with blinking lights. He's given a vaccination of the drug annunakis in the neck. I think that's how you say it, near the spine. It makes him feel very relaxed and confident. They're putting all sorts of crazy technology on him, like a Terminator eye. He's wearing something that looks like a suit. He's 6'5", muscles bigger. He's given a SK-56, which contains 57 bullets. It looks like an M16, very fancy new. It's the scope, cock black, 2 triggers, top one for bullet, lowers for grenades. And he says I'm there, and anyway, it's just...
Yeah. But the poor guy's been through hell.
Yeah.
Just some more abuse.
All right, well, I guess if you want to learn more about that, you can go to my website and download Lone Wolf or buy the book, or either way.
And just, if you don't mind,
SuperSoldierTalk.com. What?
Yeah, just people, realize who you are and your abilities. Don't believe what the government and other people, your friends, tell you. Oh, that couldn't exist. No one has abilities. You all have abilities. Mm-hmm. You were created with them. Barry, how does anyone get a hold of you?
You can email me at my name, barry.newkirk@gmail.com.
Is N-E-W...
K-I-R-K, and it's Barry, B-E-R-R-Y. So BERRY.NEWKIRK@gmail.com. Or you can give me a call.
You probably shouldn't give your phone number
Yeah.
out. You might get swamped with people on...
So email me and we'll set up an appointment. How about that?
Yeah.
But I will have to charge something so that I can eat.
And my personal cell phone is going to spiritual symposiums because, and I'm getting help to answer all the calls because I can't keep up. I'm trying to, but I'll be in someone's head cranking them up, and then I get 3 calls before I can get off the phone. So I'm doing everything I can to get to everybody. The energy
maybe there's a way you could do group crank ups instead of people doing it individually. You could just...
I can definitely do that. March of last year, I did 328 at one time.
Well, maybe what you could do is maybe do like a Skype meeting once a week, and all these people can pay whatever charge, and then
it doesn't matter.
Do them all at the
I
same
need
time
to eat too, but
Skype.
I want to buy me some silk overalls. But no, seriously though, and I do like to laugh every once in a while because you know what, this is very serious stuff, and I guess as you saw earlier, I blew up a little bit, but my DNA is going flat out reptilian to do what I need to do here, and it's just I'm sick of this stuff going on. It's my job to take care of it, and I've been waiting too long to go to work. However, there's things that are involved in your lives that you're not aware of. There is a group that's here. Things are going to happen. You will see. No one's ever been left alone, and too much wrong has happened for too long, and it is being fixed. We're just part of it.
All right. And what's your website?
Our website is spiritualsymposiums.com. That's SYMPOSIUMS.com. And the number is 770-885-5619. Just please give me a couple days to get back. I've got help coming in. This is just the beginning. This won't stop. There's a lot of people out there. We're coming together just like a spearhead. And this job is going to be done. The things that run your planet know about it. The things that our friends, our family in space know about it. This is a very important venue, Super Soldier Talk. There's all kinds of stuff going on. Look at what James brought to everyone's attention about what's being done to the people, these super soldiers that are being built, abused. The pictures you've seen about people going to government, going into people's brains, trying to put electronic devices in them to super enhance them and everything. I'm sorry, it's just, it's abuse.
All right. Well, thank you, Jay, and thank you, Barry. And please, let's do this again sometime in the future. There's a lot more questions, and I'm sure as we learn more between both of us, I guess the more we learn, the more we realize we don't.
Yeah, we're family.
We don't know. All right. So thanks, everyone, for listening. Until next time, bye-bye.
Sorry about getting pumped up so hard, man. My DNA was flipped. I was just losing it.
44.
You gotta go. Is that a synchronicity?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's extreme point.
Four is fortitude.